Hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode of FanSub, made by one geek, made for many geeks. This is the Whenever I Can Make It podcast, and I am your host, Cassandra. Now, I'm pretty young, I don't have anything professional or even semi-professional. All I have is a laptop and its built-in mic. Now that's not going to stop me from making this podcast, whenever I can. Now, what is this podcast going to be about? Anything geeky. That's why it's called FanSub. I'll cover geek news, like comic books, video games, science, history, just anything in general, and I'm going to give my opinions about it. And remember, if you don't like my opinion, that's perfectly fine. We're all humans. We all have our own opinions. So, if you don't like it, and you have a different opinion, that's perfectly fine with me. Alright, this podcast is all about video games because I love video games. Love them so much. Now, let's get on to the first story. GTA 5. You probably heard about it. You probably heard about the controversy surrounding it. That's not what I'm talking about here. GTA 5 has grossed more in sales than the highest grossing movie ever, which is Blue Pocahontas, aka Avatar. Not the disappointment called The Last Airbender, just Avatar. Now, yeah, that's really awesome because this is showing us that we can play with the big boys. We ain't scared of them. But let me just put this into perspective for you. Let's say that your average 3D ticket price is maybe like $10, $15. I may be over-exaggerating it here, but let's just say it is. A new game on the Xbox or the PS3 is gonna be around $60. So, you have to remember to put it into perspective here and not over-exaggerate it, I guess? So, GTA could have sold less units, this being the game, than Avatar did, this being the tickets, and still could have grossed more. But I still think it's pretty cool that GTA grossed some monies. Alright, second story. And this will lead into my first opinionated thing of my podcast, which is new next-gen console, PS4 versus Xbox One. The news story relating to this, Injustice Gods Among Us, the premium edition, has been confirmed for release on the PS4, but not on the Xbox One. Now, let me start out by saying, I love Nintendo. Alright, the first game system I ever owned was a Game Boy Color. My sister still owns her Game Boy Advanced SP. It still works. So does her old DS. I have a 3DS. I have a Wii in my room. I have a Wii U. I played the GameCube, so honestly, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I always have been, and probably always will be. I'm not saying any other console's bad, though. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. Now, the PS4 looks like it's going to be a really promising console. It's going to have, games on it, but that's always good. What's a gaming system without the games? It's going to have, I think, more of a strong indie leading than it's going to be in Xbox 360 or Xbox One world. It's going to have a stronger leading in the indie department. And something else, you can use a PS4 controller on the PC, so you can download PS4 games onto your computer for, Let's Play purposes. If you don't want to use the, recorder on the PS4, and then you can play the games on there without any hardware problems. So that's pretty awesome. Now the Xbox One, jeez, this thing is the Xbox One can't catch a break, can it? I mean, first it was the whole thing with no backwards compatibility. Xbox, the Kinect will always be on. The Xbox will always be on. Then we'd be in trouble. You always need internet access. I feel like I already covered that one. And you could not lend out a game to a friend or sell it. Then they went back and said, hey, we fixed the hardware on this. You can go back. You can sell it. You can go back and sell your games. All you need is a one-time internet connection, blah, blah, blah. But it's still ridiculously priced. I still don't know how to calculate the price. And, looking at it, I feel like it's going to have some good games, but it's going to be the fallbacks. That's what I call the games that you can almost guarantee is going to be on your system. The fallbacks. I don't think Sony has any, but that's where the indie games come in. I was about to say Nintendo's fallback, but yeah, let's talk about Nintendo's to give an example. Nintendo's fallback, Mario. The first thing you think of Nintendo? Mario. For Xbox, that is Halo. So, do I think the Xbox One is going to do well? Yeah, I think it's going to do pretty well. Do I think the PS4 is going to do well? Yes. Walmart's nationwide have sold out the PS4, so it's obviously going to do pretty well. Not sure about the Xbox One, though. I need to check up on that next time. Alright, moving away from Sony and Microsoft, let's talk about that Pokemon X and Y. Oh gosh, you don't know how excited I've been for this game. Ever since the new starters were released, I've been so hyped for this game. Alright, I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm totally choosing Fennekin as my starter, and no one's gonna convince me otherwise. Not even my friend Ryan. Ryan is a good person, but he's a bit whiny when it comes to things. Yeah, it's like... I'm trying to put this nicely for him, but there's not really a way to put this nicely. During the entire time when we didn't know what the second evolutions of the starters would look like, he's like, yeah, Fennekin's gonna be a fire fighting. Gosh, Cassandra, why'd you choose it? And I'm like, because she's adorable. That's why I chose her. And then all of the suddens, boom, Quilladin shows up and it looks terrible. I don't think they took a turn with Quilladin. And then Braixen shows up and she's like, hey, I'm just gonna be standing here looking awesome. And don't give me the crap about her being a bipedal Pokemon that automatically guarantees she's gonna be fighting. Was Lucario a fighting? Was Mewtwo a fighting? No! They were not. They were psychic, so don't tell me she's going to be a fighting just because she's going to be bipedal. Anyways, I think that the new legendaries are going to be awesome. I think that the new fairy type is pretty cool. I think the Megalutions are going to be pretty cool. I feel like X is going to be the superior version. I'm just trying to go over things since X and Y is going to be released really soon here. I feel like X is going to be superior to Y because of, like, the exclusive Pokemon, Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Charizard X. Now, that's another thing. Why is only Charizard getting an X and Y evolution? I don't know, it's something that we need. It's the question for the ages, and I think I accidentally hit the microphone, so I apologize for any sound that just happened that isn't my voice. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about one game that I'm super excited for in 2013. I mean 14. Whatever date it's coming out. Super Smash Bros. 4. Yes, yes, yes. Let's talk about the roster. In fact, because I'm on a computer right now, let's pull up the roster. Super Smash Brothers. Press the enter button. Right. Let's talk about that roster, huh? So let's pull up. So I just pulled it up right now on the interwebs. Alright, first character, Pit the Angel. Hopefully he won't be spammy like he was in Brawl. I love Brawl, but he was a spammy character. I didn't like when people used him because it was just a giant cop-out. But anyways, pretty cool. Why can't I use that button? Bowser. Yeah. He's gonna be the heaviest fighter, probably. He's probably gonna be the slowest fighter. But, look on the bright side, they said that they were gonna try to balance it. So yes, please. Pikachu! Sorry for my terrible Pikachu impression. Yeah. Pikachu. He's gonna be that character with lightning and everything. I mean, I don't feel like I have to explain much about him. Fox McCloud. Fox McCloud. Chief McCloud. Mystery Science Theater 3000 reference. We all know about Fox McCloud. I'm just gonna say this right now. I think all the new designs that they have for the characters look really cool. Like, I like how Fox actually looks like a fox, but I wish that they didn't, like, try to make it look like, oh yeah, he has organic feet, he's wearing boots. No, he's not. He chopped his feet off so the circulation wouldn't come to his legs. And that's my opinion. Kirby. Cute. Pink. Deadly. And he can use a sword now. Hey, look at that. Or that's just confirming items. Either way, that's pretty cool. Okay, come on. I don't have all day. Samus! Yeah! My girl! Yeah. Sure, she looks like she did in that kind of sort of abomination other but I mean, come on. Samus! It's gonna be awesome! And because they already kind of confirmed that she has her old Final Smash, she's probably gonna go back into Zero Suit Samus. Link! Yeah, I don't have to say much about Link, other than if you go to the site and go to the very last picture, that picture is everything I stand for. It's a picture of Link in the 3DS version standing next to Spirit Train Link. Spirit Tracks. Donkey Kong looks more like an animal than ever. Mario. What can I say about Mario that hasn't already been said? Mario is like Windows Live Movie Maker. There, but that hasn't been said before. Yes! The Wii Fit Trainer! Am I the only one really pumped about her being in this? I mean, come on. They could have chosen the male trainer. They could have chosen the strong guy. But no, they choose the girl, and they make her do yoga poses to beat you. That is awesome, and her final smash is gonna be awesome. And she's from a really well-selling series called Wii Fit. It's one of their better-selling series, so they decided to use the character, and yes. I'm really excited. Alright, next one on the roster. Mega Man. Yeah, Mega Man. That's all you have to say about it to cause people to go completely nuts. Mega Man. Villager. Am I the only one who's not excited about the Villager being in? Because, like, everyone's like, yeah, the Villager, Animal Crossing, yeah. Don't get me wrong, Animal Crossing is an awesome game, but he doesn't seem like he's a brawler. I use brawler for some reason, not Smasher, because Super Smash Bros. Brawl was my first game. He doesn't seem like he belongs in the series. Now, sure, you could argue that Mr. Game & Watch doesn't belong in the series, and Jigglypuff doesn't. Ow. I just hit my hand on something. I don't know what I did. But Game & Watch has like a bunch of moves that he used to his advantage. And I guess you could also argue for the Villager, but I don't know. It's like Game & Watch felt like he belonged there. The Villager doesn't. Again, that's just my opinion. You don't like my opinion? That's perfectly fine. And moving on from that, Olimar and the Pikmin. Yes! I love Pikmin, and this is just awesome. And he looks awesome, although the Pikmin are, like, just as big as him. And you can still throw the Pikmins. And it seems to only be confirmed for Wii U. And the color Pikmins are like, you're getting the white, you're getting the red, you're getting the blue, you're getting the purples. He's gonna look as cute as ever, and there's gonna be those adorable little death sprites. I really hope he still has an awesome Final Smash. doesn't look like the new pink Pikmin are going to be in there. Flying Pikmin, because pink Pikmin is a lot. Luigi. What can't be said that's already been said about him being in this game? I hope his final smash from that game is in there. It'd be really cool. Peach! Now this one is actually pretty cool. Sure, she still uses her butt as an attack. She probably most likely has Peach Blossom as her that thing where it's the final attack. Smash attack. I can't remember the name now. But the move I'm most excited for is the new move where she takes off her crown and slashes you with it. That is awesome. Toon Link! By the way, I'm just going to say this right now. Ryan, I told you so. Because he said because Toon Link was in the Wind Waker, there were Spirit Tracks and there was the Spirit Track Link, and Toon Link wasn't going to be in there. But because Toon Link they use is the Wind Waker Link, you can't tell me that. And there's a picture in the 3DS version where regular Link is standing next to Toon Link, and that picture is everything I stand for and more. And now the newest confirmed fighter, which will actually transition nicely into my next topic, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, this guy is still going to be the fastest fighter, you can tell. Now, what topic am I transitioning into? We're at 60 minutes, okay. The topic I'm transitioning into is how come when Sonic, after the fall of the Dreamcast, did Sonic games in 3D suck so badly? Well, I think I have the answer after doing a bit of thinking. I think it's because they tried to make it. There were two reasons. They tried to make it darker and edgier, and they introduced too many characters at once. This is the fan-suggested topic for the week, and this was suggested by my friend Ryan. So, Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't feel like going over all of his history, but let's start from Sonic Adventure 2, because that is my favorite game of all time. Or one of my favorite games, at least. Sonic Adventure 2. Had great music. Had some great controls. Had a pretty crappy camera, but was still pretty awesome, and overall, was a really great game. Then Sonic 06 came out, and it fell off a cliff and into a wall. What happened? Well, if you look at the storyline for Sonic Adventure 2, it introduces Shadow the Hedgehog, which has a pretty dark storyline to it. But Sonic Adventure 2 was just dark enough that it was like a great addition to the series without being too dark or too edgy. I feel like when they brought in Sonic 06, they tried to make it too dark. If you haven't played Sonic 06, A, please don't. B, look up the Game Grumps playing it. That should answer any questions ever. It was dark, and it wasn't fun. I mean, even if we just look past the controls issues, which is a glaring issue, then the game wasn't actually that fun to begin with, because the storyline wasn't compelling. It's like they just tried to make him darker, because this game was the first Sonic game released since the fall of the Dreamcast. That wasn't the remake of Sonic Adventure 2. Or Sonic Adventure 1DX. It's for Sonic Adventure original. But this game was supposed to be Sonic's comeback, and it fell flat on its face. And that also is bringing in too many characters at once. Let's go over the original cast. Sonic the Hedgehog and Eggman. Then they added in Tails, a two-tailed fox. And then they added in Knuckles the Echidna, not Enchilada as they used to call him. Alright, and then they added in Amy. Alright, there's a few characters, but you can still keep track of names and faces. And then they added in Big the Cat. What were you thinking? Then, maybe about 6 or 7 new characters. I was like, okay, this is getting a bit crowded, but I can still organize my way. And then they did Sonic 06, and they tried to shove all those characters in, plus they added in Silver and Blaze. I don't think Team Chaotix was in that one, but there were so many characters in there that all of a sudden, and that's my thing, instead of saying all of a sudden, I say all of the sudden, because I like Homestuck. But anyways, all of a sudden, it became too many characters, too many places, too dark. And honestly, too long. And the stages were too enclosed. That is what happened, in my opinion. Then Sonic Colors came out. Cut out most of the characters. Sonic, Tails, Eggman, and then new power-ups called the Wisp. The story became lighter, and a lot of people say that that was Sonic's big comeback from the Wii. And then Generations came out, and they added in the old 2D thing again. And then they redid Escape from the City, which was probably one of my favorite levels ever, and added in chainsaws to the boss gun thing when you're chasing after. And I'm like, I don't remember those chainsaws from the first game. And anyways, they still added in the characters, but they completely lightened up the story. And then the new one, The Lost Worlds, Sonic is going to be the only playable character. It's going to be a super light story, I can tell. Other than, the giant moon from Majora's Mask. But honestly, I think that the biggest problem for the longest time was they made the stories too dark. I mean, first it was Sonic 06, and then it was Sonic the Werehog. And then it was Sonic and the Black Knight for the Wii. And they were all too dark. That's the only answer I can give. But I feel like Sonic is definitely picking itself up back up again. And no matter what, Ryan, I'm always going to say, gotta go fast like Sonic. So, what have we learned today? 1. GTA 5 has grossed more than Avatar, but you gotta put it into perspective. 2. Everybody hates the Xbox One. Everyone did hate it, but it seems more likely now. 3. You don't have to worry about getting special hardware for PS4 games because you can put your controller on the PC. 4. Pokemon X and Y is going to be awesome. 5. Super Smash Bros. 4 is going to be awesome. 6. When you're making a Sonic game, make sure it's not too dark, not too edgy, and you don't have too many characters in there. Thanks for listening in. What I want you guys to do is suggest topics for me to talk about next week, and I'll do it for the fan topic of the week for the highest rated one. Or whatever you feel like doing. And I encourage you to look into the topics I talked about today, and give me more information on it. Tell me something that I don't know. This is my first time doing anything like this, and I really want to try to continue it. So it would mean a lot to me if you gave me feedback. And I'm going to try to get a better microphone so I don't have to use a laptop microphone. But thanks for sticking with me through this entire podcast. And remember, do what makes you happy. This is Cassandra, signing off. See you next time.